Howdy, Central Texas. We are trending warm, not so warm over there in Italy where the Olympics are still ongoing. They've got some showers that have been clearing out. However, the further north that you go, obviously the higher elevations where they're sitting, obviously much cooler than there in Milan where they ended up in the 40s. Will end up in the 40s again for tomorrow. 20s and 30s with the precipitation is making for quite the snowstorm. So they've actually been delaying some events throughout the day today. We'll be interested to see once this storm clears out from west to east tomorrow, what that ends up doing there in Italy. Any events they weren't able to hold because of the blustery type of conditions. By the way, I've been reading about avalanches as well, kind of a scary situation over there. It will be interesting to see what the weather does the next few days once that system does clear out, and any events that weren't able to occur obviously will by then. The one that I was following was, it looked like maybe cross-country skiing. It was basically people that were skiing and they weren't on a slope, and I was like, what in the world? That has to be so hard. And it looked like they were in the woods too, so I think that was cross-country skiing, but I'm kind of getting into it obviously. Okay, here at home it's quiet. It is sunny. Once again, we are going to jump past 80 degrees. It is already ahead of 12 p.m., sitting in the upper 70s most locations. So we're going to be very warm once again. This is going to be one of our warmest days on the 7-day forecast. So I've got a couple of minutes here. Let me explain the situation out in the Panhandle. We've got multiple fires that are still burning, basically all around Amarillo, outside of the city in rural locations, but some of them still over 5,000 acres burning. Up in the Oklahoma Panhandle, just outside of Texas, you can see where I'm pointing right there. They had one yesterday evening that was up above 100,000 acres burned. So for a lot of, if you're not familiar with the topography, so you see the Rockies here where I'm pointing. To the lee side of the Rockies, the east side, it gets very flat. And obviously in West Texas, it's very flat. Western Oklahoma, same thing. Much of Kansas, same thing. And so you see the winds coming off the mountains and they can just howl. There's been some 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Their relative humidity values, so the humidity that they're seeing, like 7 to 17% when I pulled it last night. That is extremely dry air. So basically they've had all the conditions necessary, and unfortunately on this Thursday afternoon continue to do so. This pink, it is a red flag warning, has actually stretched east a little bit between Dallas and Wichita Falls. Did you know that our counties, at least most of them anyway, our central and northern ones, are managed by National Weather Service out of Fort Worth. It also manages up towards Wichita Falls, at least a couple of those counties. So I was reading some about the elevated risk, especially our far northwestern counties, I would say. It's nothing like they're seeing in West Texas, but just something to note. They have a drier air in place west of 35, but especially our far western counties. So you get closer to those counties that are under the red flag warning. We do not have any warnings across central Texas in our counties. So you can see some cloud cover. There's actually some patches of fog along and east of 35 this morning. That has since broken up. Clouds breaking up in the Brazos Valley right now. Going to make for a very, very warm afternoon. We're going to jump into the 80s. You can see who has burn bans ongoing for the time being. High temperatures this afternoon going to be right at about 80 on the nose for our western counties. 82 Temple, 83 Waco, 85 for Hearn this afternoon, and probably humid. Yikes. Overnight low is going to be a little bit cooler than what we saw this morning. Upper 40s, lower 50s for the most part, unless you're in the Brazos Valley. Higher humidity is typically going to mean higher low temperatures. That's why you're seeing 62 in College Station versus 48 in Gatesville for tonight, tomorrow morning. So weak front passing through. We're going to have a stronger punch of cooler air as we go through the weekend. Boo, why's it got to be on the weekend when this happens? We wake up Saturday morning. Winds can be breezy out of the northwest at times. We rebound likely to upper 60s for high temperatures Saturday afternoon. So can get closer to 70 in the Brazos Valley. No rain projected for the viewing area. Now Friday, in the back half of Friday, there's about a 10% chance there's a little sprinkle ongoing, especially east. And outside of our viewing area, not going to see any accumulations though. Sunday you can see also in the 60s. So cooler weather, more temperate weather, closer to where we actually are typically situated in middle February. Weather headlines, trending warm for today. We're going to stair step down outside the 7-day forecast, keep stretching. Like, are we seeing any signals that potentially we're going to see the actual return of winter or very cold punch of air people wondering, is it going to freeze again? At this point, we're getting dangerously close to March, and I believe our average first freeze is that first week of March, so it will be interesting to see. Enjoy.